The tension had been simmering for weeks, but no one expected it to boil over like this. Cameras caught Remy Ma storming out of a studio, her face tight with anger after hearing the one thing that cut deeper than anything else. Eazy. The block captain calling her a side chick. The internet instantly exploded. Clips flying across every platform as fans dissected every word, every look, every second of that heated moment. It wasn't just a diss. It was humiliation. For someone like Remy, who built her career on respect and strength, being labeled like that hit differently. But what made it worse was how real it all seemed. Insiders claimed Eazy wasn't just talking slick for clout, he was exposing something personal. Something that Remy never wanted public. The whispers started spreading like wildfire. Had their relationship been something more? Was Eazy actually confirming what fans had been suspecting for months? And if so, where did that leave Papoose in all this? Behind the scenes, Remy's team was reportedly scrambling to contain the fallout, but the damage had already been done. For the first time, Remy wasn't the one controlling the narrative, Eazy was. And that power shift sent shockwaves through the industry. Everyone was watching, waiting for her next move. Would she fight back, stay silent, or finally admit what really went down? Because one thing was clear, Remy Ma wasn't taking that insult lightly. It all started with a freestyle clip that wasn't even supposed to see the light of day. Eazy, the block captain, had been performing at a small, exclusive event surrounded by battle rap fans and industry insiders. It was raw, unfiltered, and pure energy. But when he dropped one particular line, "I could never wife a side chick, even if she legendary," the crowd reacted instantly. Gasps, laughter, and phones raised to record filled the room. Everyone knew who he was talking about. The energy shifted, and before long the clip hit social media. Within hours, Remy Ma's name was trending for all the wrong reasons. People online didn't hesitate to connect the dots. Eazy and Remy had already been the subject of rumors for months. Their chemistry was undeniable. The late-night studio sessions, the flirtatious moments during interviews, the way she always seemed to defend him publicly. Fans had speculated, but neither ever confirmed or denied anything. So when that freestyle leaked, it felt like confirmation. The betrayal cut deep for fans who had admired Remy's loyalty to Papoose, and the comments turned brutal. Screenshots of old photos resurfaced. People started analyzing Remy's posts, trying to find hidden clues about what really went on between her and Eazy. Meanwhile, Eazy stayed calm. He didn't backtrack, didn't clarify, didn't deny. Instead, he started posting cryptic captions, fueling the speculation even more. Truth always hurt the ones who hide from it, he wrote under one of his pictures, adding a smirk emoji. That one post alone ignited another wave of chaos. As blogs picked it up and fans demanded answers, Remy, on the other hand, was furious. Insiders claimed she was blindsided. She hadn't expected him to say something like that, especially not in public. Those close to her said she felt disrespected, embarrassed, and betrayed. She had given Eazy opportunities, platforms, and guidance. He was supposed to be her protege, someone she believed in. For him to turn around and publicly throw shade felt like the ultimate. Backstab. The situation escalated when footage surfaced of Remy confronting Eazy after a show. The clip was shaky, filmed on a fan's phone, but you could clearly hear her voice sharp, emotional, and full of rage. "You think this is funny? You think I'm a joke to you?" she shouted while Eazy stood there looking uncomfortable but defiant. The crowd quickly stepped back, sensing the tension. Security had to step in before things got physical. The video went viral in minutes, and the internet had officially chosen sides. Some fans defended Remy, saying Eazy had crossed a line. Others argued she brought it on herself by getting too close to him in the first place. Even other rappers began chiming in, offering opinions and adding fuel to the fire. It wasn't just gossip anymore, it had become an industry conversation. Behind closed doors, Papoose was reportedly livid. According to a close source, he had already been distancing himself from Remy after months of speculation. But this was the final straw. He didn't publicly say anything, but his silence spoke volumes. He unfollowed both Remy and Eazy on social media, deleted old posts, and started focusing solely on his own projects. That move alone sent a message louder than any words could. Remy, now feeling cornered, began losing her composure. She started avoiding interviews, canceled appearances, and even turned down a major event where she was supposed to perform. Those who saw her around said she looked drained, distant, and ready to snap. Industry insiders began whispering that Remy was preparing to go public, to tell her side of the story once and for all. She wasn't about to let anyone define her as a side chick. But deep down, those closest to her said the real anger wasn't just about what Eazy said, it was about how much truth might have been in it. Because if even a fraction of those rumors were real, then Eazy's words didn't just ruin her reputation, they shattered the image she'd spent years building. When the news broke that Remy Ma and Eazy the Block Captain had stopped speaking completely, it didn't surprise anyone, it only confirmed how bad things had gotten. But what people didn't expect was how far Remy was willing to go to defend herself. Within days of that viral confrontation, she called a closed-door meeting with her PR team and legal advisors. The goal was clear: clean up her image before it was too late. She wanted every trace of that side chick narrative gone. And she wasn't afraid to go to war to make it happen. But Eazy wasn't backing down. In fact, he seemed to thrive on the attention. During a podcast appearance, when the host tried to ask about Remy, Eazy smirked and said, "Sometimes you just outgrow your teacher." The room went silent. That one line set social media on fire again. Fans replayed the clip hundreds of times, claiming it was confirmation that their relationship wasn't just professional. People started comparing their old interviews, pointing out moments where their chemistry was impossible to ignore. Every gesture, every laugh, every touch now looked suspicious in hindsight. Meanwhile, Remy was spiraling. She couldn't go online without seeing her name attached to some new headline. Even her closest friends were advising her to stay quiet, to let it blow over. But silence wasn't in Remy's nature. She had built her career on standing up for herself, and she wasn't about to let anyone rewrite her story. So, in typical Remy fashion, she decided to speak her truth her way. She posted a series of cryptic tweets. "Late one night, I've been loyal when I didn't have to be. I've protected people who ain't deserve it. But I see now, silence only helps the liar." Fans instantly connected the dots. It didn't take long before screenshots of her posts were circulating everywhere, with blogs writing that Remy was finally ready to clap back. But what no one expected was that she'd do it on live TV. A week later, Remy appeared at an industry award show in New York. She was supposed to present an award. But the tension in the air was undeniable. Cameras caught her walking in with her chin high, dressed in all black, looking like she was ready for battle. When she got on stage, she took a long pause before speaking, just long enough for the room to go silent. "I know y'all been talking," she said, locking eyes with the audience, "but I ain't never been nobody's side anything. I've been the main, the backbone, the one holding it down. Don't ever get that twisted. Don't ever get that twisted." The crowd erupted. Some cheered, others gasped, and within seconds, clips of that speech hit social media. But as powerful as her words were, they also raised more questions than answers. Because Eazy's camp didn't stay quiet for long. Just hours later, he went live on Instagram, saying, "If I'm lying, she wouldn't be this mad." His confidence was almost chilling, and people couldn't tell if he was bluffing or sitting on real proof. Rumors began swirling that Eazy had private messages, photos, even studio footage that could back up his claims. Fans speculated that he might leak them if Remy kept pushing. Those close to her said she was furious but terrified. She knew Eazy had receipts, and if he ever decided to expose them, it could destroy everything she'd worked for: her marriage, her reputation, her brand. As all of this unfolded, Papoose became the ghost in the story. He didn't speak publicly, but his absence said everything. For years, he'd been Remy's rock, the loyal husband who stood by her through her prison sentence and career setbacks. But now, he was nowhere to be seen. Sources said he'd quietly moved out of their shared home and stopped wearing his wedding ring. That image of unity they'd built for years suddenly crumbled. And people began questioning if this was the end of one of hip-hop's most respected couples, Eazy. On the other hand, continued performing, even using the controversy to boost his brand. He dropped a freestyle days later, throwing in lines that fans swore were aimed at Remy. "Don't blame me when the truth hurts. You should have known loyalty ain't free. It was cold, unapologetic, and calculated." The comments section exploded again, with fans either calling him ruthless or branding him disrespectful. Remy was caught in a storm she couldn't control. For every denial she gave, there was another video or post that contradicted her. The more she tried to fight back, the more people questioned her. It was a lose-lose situation, and she knew it. Those who had worked with her before said she became distant, barely answering calls, showing up to meetings late, and refusing to discuss anything related to Eazy. By the end of the month, even major networks started pulling her name into headlines, calling it the messiest fallout of the year. Remy had officially gone from a respected veteran to a trending topic for all the wrong reasons. Yet, deep inside, she wasn't done. She was angry, embarrassed, but also ready to strike back. Because if Eazy thought she'd let him win this narrative war, he clearly forgot who he was dealing with by the time the third week of the scandal rolled around. Remy Ma had reached her breaking point. The tension between her and Eazy, the block captain, had turned from gossip into a full-blown public feud, one that no PR team could clean up. The internet had made its judgment. Every platform was flooded with reaction videos, memes, and commentary dissecting every look, every old clip, every cryptic post. But what no one knew was that behind the scenes, Remy was quietly building her counterattack. She wasn't just mad, she was ready to expose everything, according to people close to her. Remy had been sitting on her own receipts. She had screenshots, text messages, and even footage that could flip the entire narrative on Eazy. The only reason she hadn't gone public yet was because she knew once she did, there would be no turning back. This wasn't just about saving face anymore, it was about revenge. Her team tried to talk her out of it, warning her that a messy public war could hurt her brand, but Remy didn't care. "He made me look weak," she told one insider. "Now I'm gonna remind everyone who I really am." That's when whispers began spreading that Remy was preparing to sit down for a Talal interview. One of the biggest media outlets had reportedly reached out to her, offering a platform to share her side of the story, uncut and uncensored. The anticipation was insane. Fans started counting down, waiting for the moment she'd finally speak up. And when the teaser dropped a short clip of Remy saying, "Don't believe everything you hear. Believe what you see next," the internet exploded again. Eazy saw it too, and instead of backing down, he doubled down. He went live that same night, pacing back and forth in a dimly lit room, his voice filled with arrogance. "I ain't lie on nobody. Everything I said came from facts. I just didn't think she'd get this emotional about it," he said, looking directly into the camera. The comments section lit up instantly, thousands of people watching, reacting, and screenshotting every second. Some fans called him brave for speaking his truth, while others accused him of clout chasing and disrespecting a woman who had helped build his career. The next morning, Remy's team confirmed the interview date. It was going to air live on Friday night. Everyone in the industry was watching: fans, rappers, producers, even celebrities outside of hip-hop. This wasn't just another scandal anymore. It had become a cultural moment. When the night finally arrived, Remy appeared on screen.com, composed, but clearly holding back emotion. Her tone was sharp, every word measured. She didn't deny knowing Eazy. She didn't deny helping him. But she made one thing very clear. Helping somebody don't mean you sleeping with them. I believed in his talent. I gave him guidance when nobody else would. And he took that kindness and turned it into a punchline. That's not loyalty, that's betrayal. The interviewer pressed further, asking if any part of the rumors had truth to them. Remy took a long pause, looked straight into the camera, and said, "If people want to believe lies, let them. But the truth always comes out. And when it does, I hope he's ready." That statement alone sent shockwaves online. Some fans applauded her for handling the situation with grace. Others accused her of dodging the question. But one thing was certain, Remy wasn't crumbling anymore. She was reclaiming control. However, just when things seemed to settle, Eazy fired another shot. Hours after the interview aired, he posted a cryptic story with a voice note attached. The caption read, "Since we talking truth. Here's a little reminder." The short audio clip featured a woman's voice, one that fans immediately recognized as Remy's, saying something that sounded like, "I can't be seen with you like that." It was only a few seconds long, but it was enough to ignite chaos once again. Within minutes, every blog reposted it, and fans went wild. Was it real? Was it edited? No one knew for sure, but the damage was immediate. The clip trended all night, with thousands of people debating its authenticity. Some claimed Eazy had crossed a line by leaking private conversations. Others said Remy had finally been caught lying. Remy's camp moved fast, issuing a statement calling the audio manipulated and misleading. But deep down, she knew this was far from over. Those close to her said she broke down in private that night not because of guilt, but because of how deep the betrayal ran. She had protected Eazy for so long, shielded him from criticism, and opened doors he could have never walked through on his own. And now he was using that same access to destroy her. Meanwhile, Papooses' silence grew heavier. He hadn't spoken publicly once since the drama started, but insiders claimed he was deeply hurt. He'd heard the same rumors as everyone else, seen the same clips, and though he wanted to believe his wife, trust had already been fractured. Friends said the two barely communicated anymore, and when they did, it was tense and short. It's like watching the strongest couple in the game slowly fall apart. One mutual friend said, "They were unbreakable once. Now it's like they don't even know each other." Weeks later, Remy disappeared from the spotlight altogether. No interviews, no events, no posts. Her social media pages went dark, and fans started worrying that she might never come back. But just when it seemed like she'd vanished, she re-emerged with a surprise freestyle video. It was raw, emotional, and unapologetic classic Remy, over a haunting beat. She rapped lines that felt like direct shots at Eazy. "I raised a king. He turned snake for a crown. Thought I'd fall off. I'm still around, ain't no side piece. I'm the whole plate, and you just mad 'cause you couldn't elevate." The freestyle went viral instantly. Every bar dripped with confidence and pain, showing that she wasn't broken, she was reborn. Fans flooded the comments with praise, saying this was the Remy they missed, the one who thrived under pressure. Even her critics couldn't deny that she had turned her pain into power. Eazy, on the other hand, stayed quiet for once. His usual smug posts disappeared. It was as if Remy's verse had finally shut him down. Some speculated that industry pressure had caught up to him, that labels and not. Promoters didn't want to associate with someone who'd crossed one of hip-hop's most respected women. His bookings slowed down, his buzz faded, and suddenly the internet moved on. But Remy didn't forget. She had learned a brutal lesson about loyalty and image in an industry that feeds off controversy. Privately, she focused on rebuilding her marriage, reconnecting with family, and surrounding herself with people she could truly trust. Publicly, she let her art do the talking. She stopped explaining herself, stopped defending rumors, and let time reveal the truth. By the end of the year, the narrative had shifted. Eazy's name barely made headlines anymore, while Remy's comeback was celebrated as one of the most powerful